Hello everyone, it's Hazel here from South Africa, sunny South Africa now, which is rather awesome. And I'd like to start with a shout out to my new subscribers. There's been quite a response recently and I'm terribly happy about that. And I cannot help thinking that it's possibly due to, nevertheless, here we go. What we're doing today is something that I haven't done on video before, although I have used it in the past, and that is to decoupage with a napkin, but to almost use it as a complete masterboard. I found this lovely brightly colored paper napkin, which I think is rather gorgeous, and what I'm going to do is attach that to this, which has been gessoed, ready to use. And I'm going to use the bottom half of this napkin, water cut out what I don't want. And before I start that though, I'm just going to put a little bit of paint on with a sponge to create a bit of a background here. I think it's rather lovely. And then, guys, what I've done, this is the a stencil of a sort of a cartoony butterfly, but it's nice and big. And what I've done is I've used a texture paste on it again, with far more success than last time, I might tell you. So that is, I'm going to fussy cut this out, paint it nice bright colors, and that will also go on here as a bit of a focal image on the napkin background. So we will start with the painting. I've taken out titanium white and cerulean blue, because that makes a lovely sky color, and that's what I'm going to be doing. Sorry, my glass plate is a little bit out of sight here, I think, but that's okay. Right, I don't think you're going to be sitting and watching this whole thing happen. So I'll just show you how I start, because I'm applying it with a makeup sponge, so I can get a nice kind of soft finish. Just to give us that effect. Go. I think I can. Let me just hold this up to get an idea. Yeah, I think that is about close enough. And then what I need to do is to blend this down with white. see, unfortunately, the beginning of this, I wasn't recording when I thought I was. Sorry, guys. But you haven't missed much. It's just the water cutting as I've been shaping things and getting them ready. I just wanted to show you a little bit of where I'm going with it, and then I'll do it off camera again. But I'm getting better now. I was using far too much water before. It's once you've mastered it, it's dead easy. But if you're like me and you tend to be a little bit over enthusiastic with quantities like that, then it can be a little bit time consuming. But you know what? As far as I'm concerned, it's worth it at the end of the day, because you have this easy blend of one thing into another. But there we go. Let's have a look at this now. Let's turn it around so you guys can get a good view. Yeah, that's starting to take shape quite nicely, I think. So I am reasonably happy with that. And now I can see that I can just ease this off here, and it will be fine. Okay, this is starting to look quite nice now, isn't it? I confess that I did a little bit of ordinary fussy cutting here, just to make things go a little bit faster, and I'm going to just finish off there a little bit too, I think. But I'm happy with this. I really am happy with this. It's looking great. I have fussy cut out the butterfly and just touched up the stenciled areas a little bit with some white paint. But now, of course, I need to put all the lovely bright colors on the butterfly. And we'll be almost ready. So, you don't have to watch me glue this down, because I'm quite sure you know how it's done. But we will speak again very shortly. Right, now we're ready to glue this down using the liquid matte medium, because it's the nicest way to do it. And at the same time as I'm putting it onto the, under the napkin, I'll also be painting over the napkin, because we need it to become a sealed surface. We don't want any paint or any extra things that are added to this. We don't want that making mud. So let's just get this down. I'm letting it overlap very slightly at the bottom, because I just want to trim that last little bit off. Now here we go. I'm smoothing this down as carefully as I can, but if there is a little bit of texture, that's also fine. Let's just need to I'm applying the, dripping the liquid matte medium directly onto the paper, because the whole thing is going to be covered with the liquid matte medium by the time I'm finished. Now, you see, I wasn't careful enough there. Fortunately, we have a butterfly, so I will now position the butterfly over that area where I was a bit too rough with the way I applied the medium. It's quite good for you guys to watch me making the mistakes, because then I'm making them for you and you don't have to do it. I should have mentioned, napkins become incredibly fragile once they're wet, so you have to be exceptionally careful when you're putting it down. And obviously when you're applying the matte medium to the underside of the napkin, it is soaking into the napkin and making it fragile. So then I need to be gentle, which I promise to do from now on. Just need to make sure. Once this has been put on, then I will leave it to dry before we do anything else. And while it's drying, what I'm going to do is put color on the little butterfly. I'm using my acrylic markers because they do such a lovely job. Right, that is that. I think I have got it everywhere. There's a little bit of a ripple, and you will get folds and that sort of thing with a napkin, because they do wrinkle and stretch, but it just adds to the texture. Right, there we have it. That is now going to be put out to dry. And you can see I've started with my little butterfly. I'm not going to have you sitting and watching me do this, but I just thought I'd show you. The dark brown card, I've now painted over with my orange marker, and that's covered beautifully. So here is our finished board. I have covered everything with the liquid matte medium, so it's a non-porous surface. I played with the butterfly. I used my acrylic pens to do him, and I don't know if you'll see the gold, but he's got little gold spots all over him. And then I just hand wrote the spread your wings and fly. Now, before you people have a hissy fit, you'll see that I have folded this. Now, my reason for doing this is that I have this little journal here. It's called the video journal. And what I've done since I began at the beginning of March is with each masterboard that I've made, or each page that I've done, I have stuck it in this book so that I have a record of what I've done, and you know, just how much it worked. There's a couple that I haven't put in here yet, but this is where this baby's going to go. And the part that's going into the journal is this section, and that piece will then go into my stash and be available for making tags or pockets or whatever else tickles my fancy. So let's just do this quickly. And what I normally do is I don't sign these pages in here. I date them. So like, for example, this cover I did on the 18th of April. So that's how I do that. And it just gives me an idea of how far I've come, or what I've done and what I haven't done yet. So, you know, the nice thing is that I've had so much advice from people because I've watched so many tutorials that, for example, Karen Birchall, the lady that I keep telling you I was the person I first subscribed to, she always says when you do one of these altered book journals, don't start at the beginning and work backwards. Pop around randomly through the book so that you can make sure that you're giving yourself space to play. So I'm going to put this in the back part of the book because I don't have much in here, as you can see. So I randomly pick a page somewhere in the middle. And I glue him down. Now the other trick is these are exercise book pages. Which I see I haven't glued them all down. Okay, this one is glued down. I glue two together because they ripple and stretch and they're not very strong. But then when you're going to put a page in here, don't use wet glue. Use the dry glue. Otherwise you still get this whole rippling story, which can be rather aggravating. So that's what I'm doing. I'm putting it all over this page. And then I will just press this down. Yeah. I do have to trim this slightly. Just across the bottom. So that wasn't too bad, was it? Where are my scissors? Just want to finish this on camera. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I know it's something completely different to what I normally do, but I just thought, gosh, you know, this is something that I haven't done, and recently I saw a couple of tutorials on YouTube with napkins and using them as the entire background. So I thought, well, come on, you haven't done this for a while. Okay, so here we have it. That is now the finished page, and you see it still looks lovely. It's not as if I've spoilt the picture at all by cutting it in half. Now I'm just going to put today's date, which is the 18th of September. Just as a matter of interest, guys, tomorrow, the 19th of September, I turn 79 years old. I cannot believe that I've come this far and that I'm still as bright and as perky as I am. So somewhere in my genes is something good. Okay, so there we have it. I hope you enjoyed it. As I say, it's not the norm, but I love these, this bright abstract flowers. It's something lovely. I enjoy it. And right, you've got the journal page here, but look at this one. There's the possibilities. You can make a lovely tag out of that, or a pocket, or both. So it's worth stashing. Okay, so that's that for this video. Please like it if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And keep the comments going. I love the comments. And perhaps, folks, you can tell me what you'd like me to do next. I'm happy to give something a bash if I have an idea of how to do it. So you let me know, and I'll see what I can do. So until next time, stay well, stay safe, and bye-bye.